Reading my mind. Thank you so much, first of all, for being here in the person. Actually, I'm not sure we're recording this, and I'm not sure whether we will be sharing this recording or not. I don't want to say it to people because they would see it like a threat, but the conversation that we're about to have is so personal. And I feel so responsible for bringing it in here, because even though it is just becoming process, it is something that can make such a huge difference for you guys that I'm not gonna hold it back, you know. And I'm not sure whether we will share this or not. We will see how it goes. And this came through, it started coming through, it started forming yesterday around 3 p.m., I would say. And it came through fully around midnight. So it was up till 1 a.m. writing this all in my journal, which is here. And then I was trying to retype this because I know if I try to read this to you from the journal, it's not going to work, you know, because I'm not going to be able to read my own notes. So here we go. I just need to find the beginning of my notes because there's so much. Where is day 3? Okay. So I think today, this will be the conversation that I will look at years from now, and I will know. I'm already crying on sentence 1. I know that today will be a turnaround point in my career, and it might be a turnaround point in some of your careers too. And everything that has led to up to this moment, you know, it's so perfect. Sometimes we have to go through so much pain, so much internal pain, and so much internal struggle until it comes to the point where we just can't anymore and we have to change our attitude. So this actually started around 3 p.m. I was in a class with dear Christina, who's here on the call with us, and we were on a call. I'm not going to share too much about the call because, you know, it's private and other participants and so on, but we were doing some clearing, and one of the other participants said, you know, I heard the name Malala. I don't know what that means. What does it mean? And I had this image of this girl who was an activist 2 years ago, I think. There's some Pakistani girl. I don't know much about her, but I went on Google and I looked up the meaning of it, and it means grief-stricken. And it didn't make any sense. I was like, okay, yeah, that's somebody else's, whatever. And it didn't mean anything to me until it started coming together that it was for me as much it is for everybody else. And later, around 5 in the afternoon, I knew that I should prepare because I'm going to be sharing with you guys our offerings. And I couldn't bring myself to do it. I was procrastinating and I was like, you know, we'll come together and whatever. And I finally called Jay, and it was like, I just let, like, thank you, Jay, so much for holding space for this, because I just let the honesty and the darkness of the things that I hate so much about my business, and there are things, and I just let it come out. And it has to do with disappointment. I ran a large program of 130 people in it about, you know, at its peak, maybe it was 18 months ago, 2 years ago, something like that. And it scarred me. The traumas that I caused myself was so deep, and it was not the first time it happened. It was just another occurrence of the trauma that some of you have described in your homework. And you will see the result of this. I do not hype up my clients' results. I don't really talk here about the magic they have produced. Have I? And it's for a reason. There was a letter one day. I'm not going to read it to you because it would just be too much for everybody. And it was not the only one, but it was like a 12-paragraph email from somebody just letting me know how in so many ways, in how many ways that I have personally disappointed them, and how many ways my program has disappointed them, and what is the best, how disappointing everything is. And it was a moment I decided, you know, fuck it. I hate it. I hate this piece so, so, so much. I hate it. And then there was another. And there were clients breaking their contracts, and with that breaking my heart every single time. And I wasn't willing to admit it. I was playing strongs, like whatever, blah, 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 you know? Every single time, I remember every single person that ever broke their contract, every single person who had any excuse about how I wasn't enough, how the program wasn't enough. And it, every single time, the heartbreak got bigger, but the walls around my heart got bigger too, because I just could not bring myself to re-experience this thing about not being enough, to not giving enough, to creating disappointment in people's lives. And I wanted to quit so many times. I'm like, I'm done with this shit. I just don't even, And it kept happening. Somebody was disappointing in this retreat because somehow I missed, put out some button, whatever. They didn't have ad calendar, they missed it, And it's just an occurrence that keeps happening. And I wanted to quit so many times because how in a world do I keep going? I remember the day I decided when I had my restaurant, I didn't want a restaurant anymore. You know when that was? It was 2 months after we opened it. You know how that happened? It's called Yelp. Somebody wrote a review about how disappointed they were in everything we're doing. Service was this, food was that. My heart wasn't ready for that. And then there were employees. And I will tell you, I tried so hard to not disappoint them. I would do anything in the world so that people would not be unhappy with me. Literally anything. We were a new restaurant. We were understaffed. They were working 25-hour weeks and I was working 80-hour weeks. I was making up for this inability to delegate by my own hard work. Because I couldn't deal with the complaints. I couldn't deal with somebody even giving me an eye because they're tired. I couldn't deal with this. And then there was an employee that literally told me, Eva, you're the worst boss I've ever had. And I was holding all of that. I was holding emotions of all of that. So I did everything in my power, my entire business career, to not disappoint people. QLE was a program that some of you guys were part of that I ended up closing. Only to reopen a program that is much like that, just different consciousness. But at the beginning, it was great. We had 2 calls a week. It was 3 people and me on Zoom. We had a call on Tuesday. It was 3 of us. We didn't know what we were doing. I was teaching something on Tuesday, and then we would do a Q&A on Thursday. And we opened it a week and a half before Lexi was born. And it was this like excitement. We're going to do this together. We would do Facebook challenges together. People would go on live for the first time in their life and do this Facebook challenge. And sometimes they would get clients and sometimes they would not, and sometimes it would take a sweet time before they would build their confidence and their voice and they would start converting, So people would get their 0 clients or their first or their second. And it was great fun. And it was great. And then there were 5, and then there were 10, and then there were 20 people in the program. Now there were 30 people in the program, and Lexi's about 6 months old. And I was rocking a program as a single mom. I've come out of this period of real struggle, and I'm coming out of this, and I'm a single mom in a program that has 20, then 30, then 40, then 50, then 60, then 100 people in it. And I noticed not everybody was thriving. Not everybody was getting the results they came there to get. And I started worrying. And so I started managing. I started adding calls. I started taking responsibility for everybody to be happy, to make sure their business would succeed. So first, we added Gina, who is here today. This just makes me so emotional. Gina was teaching copywriting. Because I was like, okay, the problem must be they don't know how to write copy. It must be it. So if we just figure out how to write the right copy, if Gina can help them with that, because that will fix it. That would be it. Then, okay, well, they have the copy support, The thing is, it wasn't it. But then I thought, okay, well, there's something else. They have a great copy or they don't, depending on whether they show up, It was like, okay, well, they can't do sales. They can't run sales call. So, okay, we'll add a call on sales call. Every Tuesday, we will do a sales call practice. And that wasn't doing it. That wasn't doing it. Then it was like, okay, not everybody, there were still people who were not happy. Then I was like, well, okay, they were supposed to sell something on camera, and oh my gosh, for the love of them, they cannot talk about themselves and their service on camera. Let's add a pitch call. Let's all practice our pitches. It's going to be great. It's going to solve everybody's problem. If we just do this, they're going to be happy. And then I realized, you know what? The energy is bad. People get so stressed out. The energy is bad. Let's add a workout call. Of all things, I kid you not. I kid you not. This is how crazy it got. We had a workout call at 7:30 in the morning that one of our staff members was, we're going to pump up. We're going to be in really good energy, because you can't be in a bad energy running your business, because business is energy, And on Monday, we're going to do mindset. I'm going to pump them up. They're going to be all pumped up. They're going to be ready to go. I'm going to just wrap them up in this enthusiastic energy. And once they get that, they're going to be ready to go. It's going to be so great. And then I realized they were pumped up for about 2 hours. And if I was not present every single day to pump them up, there was something that was going to go, that just, something, somewhere, hiccup. Oh my God, Eva, I'm unhappy, So then I realized, okay, it's not the mindset. You have to actually go deep. But the people who were in the program are not ready to go deep. And I was not ready to go deep with them either. So it didn't solve their problems. So then, I'm getting all these DMs, and I'm in a place. If you've ever been in this place and you relate to this, please let me know in the chat, because it's like you're almost like there's a DM and you're almost afraid to check your phone, because you're already anticipating who's disappointed with you this time, who is going to complain this time, who is dealing with something. And if they're not disappointed with me, they're disappointed with other people in the program, or one of my staff members, or something. And that's how it went. And it was so interesting, because it was the people. Then we had QI, which was the program with the ones who were really thriving, who needed to take their business to the next level, and they needed support more around team. And there was more disappointment than anywhere in that program. It was so interesting, because there were people, kid you not, who go from 80K a year to 500K a year, triple, quadruple, 5x their business. But then they would be disappointed because they're still not happy, or they're disappointed about something else, or they're disappointed because they lost the money. It was so incredibly painful. And then I realized I am burning out. I cannot be lending my energy. I cannot be teaching 1-2 calls a day every single day. It's not working. It's not working, because now we have people complaining and disappointed because there's too many calls, right? Because that's how it goes. And then I noticed I began to resist offering my services. I didn't realize that I was in trauma. I had no understanding of how hard this was. Before this, we would have 100K, 200K, 300K launches, lots of fun. Then there was a pivotal point where I just couldn't deal with this anymore because I really just wanted everybody to thrive. And I wasn't ready for the lows that it brought. I was not ready to have space for the downside of what it takes to build a 7-figure business. I was afraid of offering my services. I was afraid of inspiring people. I was afraid of pitching on camera because somebody, if I paint it, if I set their intention, if I set their goal too high, if I set their dreams too high, they will be that much more disappointed in me. This is the reality. How does this happen? I've had a blind spot that attracts disappointed people. Here's my pitch to you. Up until yesterday, if you hire me, there's a 50% chance that I will disappoint you and 50% chance that you will disappoint you. And yes, there's about 10% clients who don't work in that kind of reality because they have worked with their not good enough. But either way, we're a frequential match for each other. Why is this? Because we're always disappointed. Because nothing is ever good enough. Nothing is ever sufficient. You make a breakthrough, you make your post, you introduce your business, you're so proud of yourself, and then nobody comes on the next thing. It's not good enough. And I found Malala within me. There's a deep, deep buried part that is completely grief-stricken about the future she didn't have, the disappointment, and the way she disappointed other people and her parents the most. I did not want anyone else in my business to experience the same pain of disappointment, because disappointment is really, really, really hard in our business. How many of you have been disappointed over and over and over by your lack of results, by your, so you say, lack of progress, by the lack of clients that are coming in or the people who didn't buy your course? How many of you were heartbroken over this? So I have this conversation with Jay, and I was just like, holy shit, I just cannot disappoint any more people. I don't even, and even if they're happy with me, then they're not happy with something else. There's always something else that I'm taking on energetically as something that I need to solve. And if I don't solve it, then I'm not good enough. So 2 hours later, it's Lexi's bedtime. And I'm so distracted because I'm trying to process this, And I break my own rules. My own rule is when I'm with Lexi, I'm with Lexi. I'm not with my clients emotionally. I'm not with Jay. I'm not with my business. I'm not on my phone. When I'm with Lexi, I'm playing, And I broke my rule. And I was so distracted trying to process this. And I was kind of emotional all over the place. And Lexi, she's 2.5 years. And she's so cute. When she goes to bed, she goes to her dresser and she starts digging to her clothes. And she's very picky about her clothes. She has these drawers, and she will go, she's bilingual, but she prefers Spanish first, and then she will translate. And so she will go through her dresser and she'll be like, ese, no ese, ese, no ese. And then she will look at the clothes and she's so cute, and she will find the one and she's like, ese, and she's gonna go so excited. She found her pajamas, or this is what I'm gonna wear tonight. She gets so excited, so cute. But now it's like 8:15 p.m. Usually she's going bed by 7. I have no idea what I'm talking to you about today. Like, what? Like, I'm in the middle of this and I was like, I just really need her to go to bed on time today. And she's still picking her clothes, and she's just not being happy with either of this. She's like digging through it and she just cannot find anything she wants to wear. And I want to say, for the first time in my life, I really lost my patience. And I was like, okay, let me know when you know. And I turn around and I went to do something else. And then she starts throwing a tantrum, and then it goes back and forth. And I'm getting really impatient. I'm like, how do I get you to just pick your panties and pick your pajamas and let's go to bed? And I'm losing my patience. And she's showing me the mirror because she can't decide. And I'm impatient with her. And I turn around one more time and she starts crying, and it was the most painful cry that I've ever heard. And when I heard that cry, because I turned around, I saw my little self that was rejected by a parent that didn't have patience. And so much grief came through. And so much grief of having disappointed my parents. So much grief. This is what I wrote down when I processed this. This is a key code. This is the key. You get to this, you unlock this, you have a key to joyful business. It's a key code that we're opening today, and it's a key to the next miracle. It's a major miracle. I want you to unlock the door to your own heart with what I'm sharing with you today. I will read to you the word for word transmission that came through for me. I don't even know if transmission is the right word. Listen, I'm not great with all the terms, what comes through. It just came through, okay? And what I wrote is, you are, and when I say you, I'm not saying you. I am literally reading what came through for me, okay? It's not to diminish you. It's not to make you feel less than. I'm literally sharing with you with so much love in my heart, what came through for me, in the hopes that it will serve you as well. So what I wrote down is, you're disappointed and you're a disappointment waiting to happen. People disappoint you and you disappoint people. And I hide it and I fake it. I appreciate people, fake appreciate them, but I'm really just disappointed. Life is a disappointment when you are not good enough. Even when everything is amazing. Do you notice? You just find something in your life to be disappointed about. What's driving our life is fear of disappointing clients, fear so deep. I will shut down my business consciously or unconsciously because it's bigger than the fear of failing. 3 times now. When I need a break from disappointing people, I go and I close down the shop and I go to rehab of some sort in a jungle with some kind of medicine. until the drive to be an entrepreneur shows up again and I have to deal with this. You can call it the Yelp trauma. There's a term for this. The Yelp trauma. I was disappointed with the world, but the world is giving me back the same. This is the law. What you give, that you receive. If you're disappointed with yourself and you're disappointed with the world, and you cannot hold yourself in grace and respect and appreciation, guess what? Your projections, and your projections, they're just chasing you. Remember when we talked about the projections from the movie yesterday? Inception? They're just chasing you. They don't leave you alone. They will just keep being disappointed with you, and they will be appreciated, but then they will be disappointed. And I don't even ask for testimonials because I'm so afraid, because somebody gave a testimonial and then they were disappointed later. I don't want to go through that again. When is the question that came for me? And I'm asking you this, like, when do you stop being disappointed with yourself? When? Is it like when we lose the 2 more pounds? Or when your multi-dimensional expansion is just to the standard that you need it, you're expanded enough, or your heart is open enough, or your consciousness is over a certain threshold, and muscle tested, calibrated, okay, we're good, approved, over 200, check and check. And when do we stop being disappointed in others? When can we forgive our parents? When do they start being good enough? When will our siblings be good enough? When will lovers be good enough? When will we and the world become to our liking? The deal is we cannot fix not disappointing our parents about the grades we brought home. It's just not going to happen. We can't fix that. We have to grieve it. The Malala within needs to grieve. There's just no catching up. There's just no catching up. We will not make them happy. We will not be able to meet the expectations that we didn't meet then. We will not meet them with our partners. We will not meet them with our clients. So today, we have a choice to make. Because we can build the business of resistance and disappointment, or a business of wild fun and joy. And you can imagine this right now, and you have a choice to make. So A, you create a business that will be a disappointment to others because you're a disappointment to yourself. Nothing is ever good enough. The post you produce isn't good enough. People are not liking it. You get on sales calls and you still try to overgive because you don't want to waste their time if they don't buy, because they'll be disappointed. So you're still giving. You will be so afraid of people saying, yeah, I really didn't come. What do you, no, I really didn't get what I came here for. Yeah, it was like great, but like I feel, yeah, it's just not in alignment. And yes, because people will continue gladly reflecting to you how you think about yourself and your service. They will continue reflecting back to you. The level of your client happiness isn't so much reflective of anything else other than how content you are in yourself and what you're offering. Is it good enough for you? If you don't think it's good enough, people will not think it's good enough. I had a client that went from struggling for years to 40K launches consistently, and she is somehow disappointed. It was a client after client, something. There was always something that was never good enough. This not enough energy, it's not just destroying ourselves, it's destroying the people around us. if we do not appreciate ourselves, if we don't accept ourselves completely, and accept that we are really, really freaking doing our best, and that's great. What I'm giving here is great, and that's it. It's lacking in the ways that I'm not yet, but I keep evolving, and where I'm right now is good enough. I cannot be accountable for what I'll be tomorrow, because guess what? What I taught you on Monday is no longer true for me. It evolves. Something is true until it's not, then it's the next level of you, and then it's not true again. And then you have to make a choice. Okay, am I okay with this? Am I okay knowing that what I'm teaching you right now, I will look back maybe a week from today, maybe a year from today, and I will be like, man, yeah, there's some things that I really didn't see, and I was kind of full of it, you know? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with taking the chance? Are you okay with honoring the present version of you that is just as you are right now? And you do that because you have to ask yourself, am I willing to honor the part that I was a year ago? Do you love yourself? The version that you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago? Are you willing to accept that version of yourself? Because you have to. You have to accept who you were 5 years ago. Just go back in time, get a sense of this. Are you proud of who you were then? Are you proud of yourself, who you were, and how far you have come? Are you genuinely proud? Because if you're not proud, you will be stuck in a level of consciousness that is called pride. And it becomes really, really, I don't even know what to call it. The word that comes to mind is clusterfuck, because we are stuck in a cycle of always trying to prove our worthiness, and that's pride. It's always trying to prove something. And it's very painful because it just doesn't work until we actually own who we are and we accept who we are. The healthy kind of pride, the really healthy kind of appreciation, where you're like, damn, I am rocking this. I am dealing with this. I am growing. I am evolving. I'm in this. I might not have a whole lot of clients, or I might have some clients that I'm failing right now, but I'm rocking this and I'm doing my best. Even if my best is, there's parts of me that just doesn't think they're that great. You know what? The reality, they're the best. There's not enough energy. You know, it's so destructive. If that's there, you will be terrified of doing sales, because somebody will come in and they'll be like, this is so great. And a week later, you know what? It really isn't. I changed my mind. You will have a business where you feel always anxious whether clients are happy. Imagine I drop 100 people in your lap right now, and you have this not good enough. You won't be able to sleep. You'll be like, are you getting this? Michelle, are you getting this? Shayna, are you getting this? Alexis, are you getting this? Christina, are you getting this? Are you guys getting this? Because if not, I don't feel confident. I don't feel worthy. People need to be getting this. People need to be happy. And you'll begin to lose your energy. I just want to give shout out to Christina, because she called it yesterday. We had a session yesterday, and I'm so thankful to have people like her who can just see through it and see that little energy that is hidden. And it took me entire yesterday to unravel this, you know? And I'm so thankful, because Christina is in a visionary circle, but I'm also a client of hers. And it's like, it's just so magical, because I get to, it's like people can see, your clients can see. And sometimes when they tell you, it's like, oh my gosh, yes, you know? And when we start doing this, we're on camera and we worry about what everybody thinks, we start losing our energy, and then we're drained and we're exhausted, and we get off Zoom And I'm like, how did I get this? How did I get here? Why do I feel so drained? Why do I feel like I'm buzzing? Why can't I handle Zoom for more than an hour at a time? And so that's one version of the business, where your clients are disappointed, you're disappointed. The fear of being disappointed or disappointment is running the show. The key number 2. Listen to this. What you're trying to attain from your business, you will actually never get from your business. What you need to ask yourself, I want you to pay attention closely and take a deep breath. What is it that you really want from your business? What is the feeling? What is the feeling? What is the experience that you're really, really craving? That you think your business will give you? What is the experience? Get present to it now. Why are you building your business? Why do you dream about clients? What is it that you want to feel? And type it in the chat. 2 words. What is the feeling? What is the feeling that you're trying to manifest for yourself in your business? What is it that is missing in your life? What is the feeling? What is the energy? Liberation, self-sustainment. How does it feel like, the liberation? What does it feel like to be truly liberated? What is the feeling? Validation and freedom, but what is it that validation brings you? Go deeper, like really feel. Validation is an action, but what is the feeling that you're trying to produce? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. How does it feel when you have made a difference in somebody's life? Those are still things. What is the feeling? What is the energy? That I am someone. Ooh, yes, I love that. I love that. A feeling of importance. Worthiness. Worthiness is what we're seeking. Got to be somebody. Open and expanded. Love that. Safety. Proud. Proud. Peace. Existence. Inner joy. Pleasure. Joy. Joy, yes. Love. Gratitude, I guess. If it's I guess it's not that. It's not that. If it's like, no. Dig deeper. It will hit you when it hits you. It will hit you like, yes. For me, the word is connection. I craved so much, it wasn't the disappointment of the canceled vacations that my parent canceled. I just really wanted to feel connected. I just really wanted to feel connected. And what I discovered is that I cannot allow connection because I cannot allow the heartbreak of disconnection from people. I cannot allow connection because I cannot allow the disconnection, the rejection, their disappointment. I can't connect to them knowing that there's a 90% chance that I will disappoint them. How could I want that? It's too much heartbreak to bear. But what I really, 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 when it comes down to it, what I really, really crave is connection. But at the same time, I am resisting connection all day long. Joy and happiness. When I help someone, yeah, but it's not when you help someone. It's like that feeling. Worthiness. Included, community, connected. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Connection. Yes, yes, yes. You guys, they're getting the connection. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, epiphany. Yes. So the feeling you're trying to get your business to give you your business ain't gonna. You have to bring the feeling into the business. You have to bring the feeling into your business. You have to own this energy is me. I'm proud. I'm connected. I'm joyful. I'm spontaneous. I'm free. I'm good enough. I'm making progress every single day. It's not perfect. I outdate myself every single day. I teach something and the next day it's not true anymore. And then like I teach something and then I go to somebody's class. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't see this blind spot. I taught them something, blah, 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 And it doesn't matter because we have to be willing to make mistakes. We have to be willing to make mistakes and be okay with it because we will continue making mistakes because we have blind spots. Don't we? We have intuitive blind spots, all of us. And so we will teach something and then we'll be like, shit, I was wrong. Because there's a higher version of the truth that I didn't understand at the time and a better context that is filled with more love and more freedom. But that's how it is. We're on the journey together. And I look back and the people who have walked the path on and on with me, like we're all in a different place than we were then. We're all making a progress. Were there times I misled them? Yes, absolutely, because of my own blind spots and my own stuff and my own need to something. And that's okay. It's really hard to accept, but it is okay. I create the fun and the joy in the business that is unconditional. Business where I'm deeply, deeply thankful. I accept that I will be disappointed sometimes and I will continue disappointing people because that's how it goes. People will be disappointed up until they deal with that part. But I'm no longer running away from this. I have made more mistakes that you can even imagine as an entrepreneur, with all the blind spots, all the things that I thought I knew and I didn't. Removing consciousness, that's how it works. But we create a business where we're grateful for all the progress. I look at the past versions of myself and I am like, I look at it, I made a mistake. I deleted all the old videos of my drive, but I was like, oh my gosh, it'd be so much fun to watch this someday, watch the baby version of myself who was shaking because she was going on camera for the first time, teaching like how to put in a homepage, it's just so magical to watch ourselves through that, and how we were in the first retreat, and the first time we opened the program, and the first time we pitched our heart out about the new baby we have just created. And it's like now we can look at the past versions of ourselves and say, it was so good. And I'm here. I'm healing myself, and I'm healing others, and I'm building a business that feels so incredibly passion. Yes. You get to bring the passion. You get to bring your heart in. There's healing that is required. So you don't shut yourself down. But yes, you get to bring the passion. This is my free event number 20 or something like that. Of the longer events, the shorter is like 150. And I'm so grateful that I didn't give up. I am so grateful that I'm here with you guys. There's only a handful of you, but I'm so grateful I'm here. Because each time there's a miracle. It doesn't matter if there's 3 people on Zoom or there's 300 people on Zoom. There's miracles that get created, and we continue evolving. And I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm so grateful to celebrate this with you, how far we have come. And we keep doing this. And I know this is the pinnacle in my career, and I'm building so much strength and so much resilience. And I'm evolving at such fast pace. Like, I cannot wait to see what happens. I cannot wait to see where this goes. And I'm here because I want the same for you. To allow ourselves to be enthusiastic about what we do. To allow ourselves to ground and get into a rhythm. There's another piece that opened yesterday, There's this deal with the masculine and the feminine. And I realized after my session with Christina, I was like, oh my God. Some of us, I know who this is for. Some of us have run our entire life on masculine, and it turned into toxic masculine. That's the control. Or we have been hurt by the toxic masculine in business. It's the control, it's the manipulation, right? And so we just disowned it altogether. But guess what? The masculine is the grounding. It's needed. It's needed. If I just have all my ideas all day long, and I do my downloads, and I stream this, and I wake up at 1 a.m. and dream time, that's all great. But we have to give ourselves the permission to anchor this too. And what I see is so many entrepreneurs who are so terrified of their masculine because they don't want they're so afraid of falling back into the toxic masculine space. They're not even, like we're running away from the anchor, but the anchor is actually very grounding. It's very comforting. You make the schedule. You follow up, you set the dates, you put this in place, you create, you ground it. It's not just ideas and and it's all fun. That's the fun part, that's the creative, that's the beautiful. And it's like, oh, I get so many revelations, beautiful, it's gonna make so much difference. But there's a need as a business owner to ground this. Ground this. And bring both sides of us in a perfect harmony. So the next iteration, I move into a CEO where there's a balanced state of the masculine and the feminine. I don't know everything that I will have to walk through to get there. It's going to be fun though. It's the business of feeling fulfilled, not disappointed. The business of being joyous and proud of myself for every step. And here's the thing, it's not a process that is done over 3 days. It's a long process. And I invite you to say yes to yourself for the journey, not just the results, but for the journey of liberating, freeing yourselves, integrating these pieces. Freeing your voice, freeing your disappointment, freeing the failure, freeing all the restrictions that are in your chest that we talked about yesterday. And what I'm creating and calling it is a business of magic and miracles. And I know that sounds wild and crazy and over the top and super cheesy, but I'm calling in the business of magic and miracles, where it's how can I produce the next expansion? How can I produce the next liberation? How can I lead from a place of more freedom? Full on transformational galore that is pure magic, pure joy, and pure transformation. And this is where you bring and create the wildest breakthrough for yourself. So what I want to do, I'm going to open the registration into my programs, and I'm going to spend some time talking about it. Actually, not some time, because I'll just share what's on my heart about this. And whatever comes after will be communicated after. So the vision that I hold going forward for the visionary circle, which is what I want to share with you today. I'm going to share with them tomorrow because we have our session tomorrow morning. And it's different. We have just finished the first 6 months. And now I stood here, was like, okay, what is the next level? Where do I want to unfold out of this? This program will not do anything for you. If you're going there because you want me to do something, it will be a disappointment. But it's a gift to yourself to come and cause yourself miracles. It's a place where you come and you be a stand for your next level of miraculous unfolding as a leader, as a new paradigm leader. The liberator that you're meant to be. Where you become the stand for this. Your own joy, your own self-approval. You bring the unconditional, bold, courageous acceptance, full acceptance of yourself. And you bring the audacity to say yes to yourself, however unreasonable it is. The audacity. And yes, there's money involved. And sometimes the mind will use the money to shut it down. I'm well aware of that. And it is what it is. But with the visionary circle, it's like, you have to bring yourself in. You bring the love. This is where you're really fully owning the expansion, and you come in with the intention of, I am ready for this. You say, my heart is so huge, my spirit is so enormous, and I'm healing and I'm expanding beyond my wildest imagination. And I'm on this journey. And you have to ask yourself, do I have a yes in my heart for this? Because if there is a yes, that's all there is required. When there is a yes in your heart for this, then you will have to trust that everything else will fall in place, because that's a yes in your heart that is coming from soul. If there's no yes for in your heart, then don't. So introducing the visionary circle, it's the way it works. I didn't quite prepare for this because, yes, I used to teach a 14-point pitch and this and that and all the things anyway. But the way it works, the baseline building block is the Business Miracle Series. Business Miracle Series, what this is, once a month, we free something. We go deep and we free something. We're in this conversation, you come in with a big, bold intention to free something within yourself. The first one is on abundance and manifestation. That one is happening 2 weeks from today. It's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, same time as this. Thursday is a visionary circle home conversation. I'll share with you. Actually, I don't think I'm going to get you share with this today, but there's so many breakthroughs to be experienced in the field of abundance and manifestation. It's so crazy. It is so crazy because when you flip a certain things, there's opportunities that start coming to you and you start seeing where you just couldn't, where you were completely blind to what's right in front of you. The ways in which we were being provided for and the ways that things are coming together. And there's just things that have to open up for you to see the mountain of possibilities and how you're being provided for in the most beautiful ways when you follow your spirit. It will be magical and I cannot wait. Then there will be content and voice. That will be the next month. We'll vomit our throats open, basically, and unblock. We need to be unblocking because visibility is crucial to spiritual leaders and coaches and those who are wanting to create a new paradigm leadership. We need the ability to have boundaries. We need the ability to not doubt ourselves. And not so much not doubt ourselves, but actually be present on camera, be present with people, even when it's hard, when it's hard like this and you want to cry and you're shaking, there's something you're sharing, you're like, how am I going to deliver this? But I know I need to. There's going to be one on offerings. The Business Miracle Series. It's happening once a month. Every month will be a different topic. Then within the Visionary Circle, we have a meeting every Thursday where we go deeper. There's the back and forth. You have hot seat with me, called love seats, sometimes with others. Sometimes it's a mastermind, sometimes it's something else. Sometimes we do breath work, sometimes we do other things. This is where I cannot tell you exactly how the Thursdays goes because I need the flexibility to follow my spirit. So I'm not going to describe. And I'm just saying this is a disclaimer. If you see like, okay, it's exactly like this and it's not like this, it's going to be what comes through for all of us. So the way it works is there's a 6-month minimum commitment on. So the way it works is basically you have the Visionary Circle that is a container, and within that container there is the Business Miracle Series. Because I understand not everybody is ready to be at the Visionary Circle around the table with us. Some people just are not ready for that, whether it's financially, whether it's otherwise, whether it's emotionally. There's just no yes for that, but there is a yes to continue this kind of work. So the Business Miracles is available without the visionary circle, just the business miracles, if you're not ready for the visionary circle quite yet. Okay, so this business miracles series, it's once a month. We'll do series. There'll be one that is free again at some point, but it continues going like this. Once a month, we unlock something, and then you devote the rest of the month of actually integrating it and letting it sit and letting it change the frequency, letting it just bring the magic into your life. Because if we just sit and we do more and more and breakthroughs and aha moments and no, there has to be implementation. There has to be settling. There has to be, we can't do this every week, you know, because there's so much. There needs to be integration time. There needs to be time to sit. So the business miracles, that one is a 6-month minimum commitment as well. The pricing is $555 per month. There's no support in between. I might open a Facebook group, I might not, I'm not sure. You guys will be able to communicate with each other, but I will not be able to provide the support. Okay. So that's the Business Miracle series. There is a code for UnGoals. If you're part of the UnGoals, and if you check out in the next 7 days, there's a coupon code that you use, and the price is $444 for 6 months. Okay. There's no paid in full discount, nothing like that. It's just what it is. It's a membership. It's a 6-month minimum commitment, and after 6 months, you can check out and you can do other things, or you can continue with us. It's up to you if you feel called, right? And I'm doing this, you know, some of you guys have been around forever. It's like, you know, you kind of know that 6 months is not that huge of a commitment. The visionary circle is, it's a different container. It contains the Business Miracle series, but it's a table where we sit together beyond the business miracles. And I really want to invite anybody who's here, if you're here, you know, it's like you have to decide, am I worthy, right? You have to decide that within you. But it's where you get to sit with others and you have to bring in the issues and we deal with it as a collective, but it's like, yes, let's deal with this together. That's where you get my eyes on your business and things like that. So that one, what I'm doing with that, I'm doing it, same thing, 6-month minimum commitment. It's $11.11 a month. Is that we settled on last night, Jay? I'm making this up as we go, because we really wanted to make it simple. So it's $11.11 a month. Is there a paid in full discount? We say we're gonna, like, if they prepay or something, we're gonna give them a discount. I don't know. Okay, right now there's no paid in full. It's just $11.11, 6-month commitment. You come and join and you come party with us. And the Business Miracles is included. What is also included, this is so good. So we did this 4-week thing that you will have access to for however long. It's freaking magic. It's called the Business Course in Miracles. And every single thing was a transmission that built on itself. It was so magical. There's like a bajillion recordings in there that you can dig in. You can dig through if you want to, but I think this is the most important piece. And you can take your sweet time with that, but it is so beneficial. And I would go through that. As soon as you join the Visionary Circle, this is what I would do. This is what I would jump into. Even before we go into the abundance, I would start going through that because it is so good. It is so good. There's just so many pieces, and we addressed offering creation, we addressed sales, we addressed marketing. Like that alone, I cannot even begin to tell you like the difference that is made in my life. Like it is so good what came through. It is so good. So the Business Miracles is included. There's a bunch of other things. We meet every Thursday, 9 a.m. Mountain, which I don't know how that's going to affect the time zone change. So the Business Miracle series, so it doesn't coincide. It's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday when we do them. And Visionary Circle stays Thursday. I have other offerings for people. Just I want to be clear about one-on-one and people who are interested in this. One-on-one is like, you know, I'm really excited about this. I am opening one slot in October and then one slot in, I don't know, I'll see January, February. So that's for somebody who's ready to, you know, go deeper and go with this, but really it's magic. And there's a in-person retreat that is included with me personally, or it can be done virtually. It's a huge, huge, huge gift for anybody who's ready to give this gift to yourself. But all of the other is included, because I cannot possibly make a difference for you without the Miracle series and without the Business Course in Miracles. It's just the baseline, because I'm just going to be like, you'll not have a context, you know? There is just recontextualization that happens and then reframes, and it's like, it just does something. So when we work together personally, it's just, you know, it goes together. It goes together. So, and there's also like a day, it's called Visionary Day, for those who really just want one single day with me. That's available to you. I don't do one-off sessions. There's a link that is available. It's like first time, if you need a sales calls, you're not sure. There is a free version and there's a paid version, depending on how much time you need and whatnot. But I like don't really do like pick and choose here and here and here and here. And I might change my mind. I don't know what's going to come through, but right now I don't do that. Right. I learned to say, I never say never, because who knows, you know, there's always just, oh, okay, I didn't think about this. Okay. You know, and something shifts and offerings change. So I'm going to put the links for you. For the Visionary Circle, there is an application that for the Business Miracles, there's no application. You just come and show up. For the Visionary Circle, there's an application, and it's just to get a sense of what you're bringing in, what kind of intention, what kind of passion, what's in your heart, you know? And that's what I care about. That's all I care. I care that there's an intention and there's a passion in your heart for this. I care that you're in like for the transformation. You're in like you own, you know, I'm looking for people who are owning. Yes, I've gone through a lot. And yes, I'm totally owning my future. I'm totally owning what I'm creating. I don't need like a, you know, I just want to make sure that, you know, I don't need an essay or anything like that. I just, the application is for you also. The application is for you to get really, really, because without the intention, nothing will change anyway. If you come into a program and you're coming into a program with this idea of, okay, it's going to give me something. It's going to save me from something. It's going to give me the energy. Eva's going to give me the energy. It's not going to work, right? When we bring our intention and we bring our heart and we say, hell yeah, I'm creating this. I'm so excited. I don't know. I'm like really open. My heart is open. Let's do this together. And I create the impossible. I'm like, I don't care how long it's going to take, because each of us have a different path. I don't care. I'm not going to put time limits on myself. It's not, I'm not going to say, okay, I must succeed or else, you know, kind of craziness, because that's just crazy context, you know, that's just, it's the same with the old, like, no, that's not it. It's like, I'm open to the magic that can transpire. And I know that, you know, it might not look like the way I think it should, but I'm really open to the magic. And I know I will look in retrospect and I will look at where I'm today and be like, that's exactly what I needed to go through. And everything that I went to go through is so that I am here. And I set my heart intention and I create the most incredible expansion deep into myself and to developing myself as the leader that I know I was meant to be. So that's the kind of thing. And when we do that, we partner together on that. And we hold that intention, and you hold that intention for yourself. You're also holding it for me, and I'm also holding it for you. We're doing this together. You know, we're doing this together. But you're responsible for your own transformation, your heart and your intention. You bring it, and everybody brings it. Let's go. So I'm going to put the links below. You guys can grab them. Oh, yeah, I think I will. I think I will post it in a group. Would love to do. It's 11:20. What I'd love to do is just, I'm going to pause the recording.